Good morning, 101. Welcome to your last video update. You've survived. You've made it all the way through a pandemic as well as a semester of school, and congratulations. It's no small feat, especially given the conditions. These days, I just hope you're feeling well. The little birds in my neighborhood are going to the doctor. They need treatments. My bananas are getting into the act. Yes, even fruit. Why? They have to go to the doctor. They're not peeling well. Perhaps even worse is the upside down nature of the days and which day is what, and am I tired, am I not tired? I've become an expert at sleeping. I can do it with my eyes closed. In all seriousness, we do have some things to discuss this semester, for the end of this semester. We want to talk about your final paper. We want to talk a little bit about makeup work and what can be made up or what you would like to make up and when I need it by. And we'll take a look at the idea evaluation. Okay, let's talk about makeup work. The idea of this course is to teach you transferable skills, and that's really mostly what I care about. And in 16 weeks, that's both an inhumane and inhuman task to ask of anyone. Really, the best that we can hope for is that you engage with some of them, maybe master a couple, and have some frame of reference about practicing or being aware of the others as you move forward in the other parts of your undergrad requirements and then eventually into your disciplines. These things do transfer, so hopefully you've stolen a couple that'll work for you and a couple of other bits of writing advice as well. So, you've also survived a global pandemic, right? In your first semester. That's a bit of an accomplishment in itself, and it also bears a certain amount of consideration. So, I am willing to let you make up anything that you like, really, by May 9th. May 9th. Grades are due to the university from me by May 11th. So after May 9th, nothing else. Now, what can you make up? Email me. Email what it is. You take a look at your own grade. Email what it is that you would like to make up, and if it's reasonable to make up and we have the time to do it in a way that's effective and worth our time, then okay. Right? I'd rather see you get rewarded for the effort and the skills than fail a class or take a bad grade for whatever reason. This has been trying times, and as such, we should consider those things. So, email me what you'd like to make up. We'll get together on if it's possible, and if it is, awesome. May 9th to me, probably via email. That way we don't have to go back through and figure out what assignments to open for which people. So email to me by May 9th. We'll see. Certainly it's going to help. Better than a 0 in some cases, and if you did terrible the first time, I would be bewildered if you did worse the second time, but let me know. All right, in the next segment, we got to take a look at the final paper and end of year closing stuff. So let's do that now. We are out of week 15, right? And I will quickly get caught up on grading, so hold tight. I'm getting through your essays, and I'll be through these pretty fast, well before your final paper is due on May 4th, right? This way you have some idea and reflection from me as to maybe other sources to go to, or no, yeah, you've done a great job. These sources will all be great. But I'll be getting through those quickly. So, for this week, and really for the end of the class, you have only the one remaining assignment, your argument from observation. I have not assigned or I eliminated the peer review, but I have left the peer review observation questions available to you. I would highly recommend that you make use of the Writing Center, bring this with you, or send it to them rather, and have them take a look, and or another peer in the class who you trust. Use these questions to help aid each other, as well as checking for grammar and mechanics always, right? So, that is all you have left. Let's look at the final paper. You will take your sources that you've developed in this and annotated, and now you're going to put them into play, much like Delestrade did with his sources as he commented on countercultural festivals, right? Or the countercultural nature of festivals. It was his observation, his opinion, supported by other voices, but always his leading the way. You should do the same. if there's a single biggest mistake in this argument of observation, it's that you use your sources as the narrative voice and it just keeps repeating. In other words, you end up with something like, hey, I found problems in the ocean in this source, and this source also talks about problems in the ocean, and this source also talks about problem in the ocean, but they're not really helping you or emphasizing your point in any way. For example, in Delestrate's argument, he uses the Jimmy Kimmel source to point out that it's so pop culturally well known, how could it possibly be countercultural? Jimmy Kimmel knows about it. For that reason, that's a good source, right? Yes, you could have found another scholarly article that notes such, but again, it would have been just echoing the same point again and again. So instead, hopefully your sources are complements to things you want to say, not just an echo chamber. Then, as always, you can look and see what the grades are based on, right? It's worth the same as the other. You can upload a doc file. Those of you who might want to try, you could look at using Spark to make a web page out of it, but that's not required and not really something that I'm going to get into. So we'll just leave it as a basic Word document, MLA format, right? And we've still got those available. Pages of help, right? Here's some verbs of attribution to use. Those of you that could use some more lively verbs, here you go. Those of you who aren't sure what an MLA paper should look like, here you go, right? And those of you who are still stumbling between active and passive voice, here you go. Take a look at those resources. They might help. Again, you do not have a peer review rough draft due, but you do have the peer review observation questions. So have a classmate or someone else that you trust and or send it to the Writing Center and have them give you some feedback before it is due on May 4th at 11:59 p.m. The only other thing that you have due, and I've made it due for the 30th because that's when the idea evaluations close, is just an informal survey about our last class, or really our class in general for the semester. I've asked you 4 simple questions about the class in particular. Please try to use some examples. No, I don't need a dissertation. It's just sincerely to help improve the class for what you as a student body identify as needing or wanting had you had the chance to do it again. Sorry that makes you kind of guinea pigs, but at least you are contributing to your university's development and hopefully the development of the composition course. I don't take these personally, so please don't feel the need to lie. It was great, right? If there was an issue with something, then I need to know, because how can I fix that for the next time? Please complete your idea evaluation, right? These are the numbers that they use to make sure that the students are actually engaging with the course as they should. And they're also the info for me that, again, helps me to design a course that's as valuable to the student's dollar and needs as possible. So April 30th, 4 short answers. That's even in a text box. You don't even need a Word document for this. And then complete the idea evaluation for our course, right? This is a link to the idea evaluations. So you'll have to find our course from the others assigned to you, but this will get you at least to the login for you to access your course ideas. Then fill ours out. Okay, I think that's all. Make sure we've gone over this. And we've gone over the last class. This is just a little something for you. Look at that once you're all done and you've submitted that last paper and or your makeup work. All right. So that's it. Welcome back. You've seen the final paper and you've seen the idea evaluation. Please, please, please consider writing comments for the idea evaluation. I really do look at those and I do use those in future classes. Those of you that have me in other courses, I think you'll attest to that when I'm say that. I'm serious about it. Good or bad, I'm not looking to have things overly celebrated. I'm a big boy. It'll be okay. But I need to know if something didn't go your way. So please look at the questions that I've given you and think about out your answers and give me a couple of comments that hopefully will be useful. That said, I'd also like to extend my help to you. As you go forward through your time in the university, you might need a quick set of eyes on another paper perhaps, or some advice about research projects, or perhaps some help with a recommendation for study abroad, or a scholarship of some kind. I'm always a recommendation for a job. I'm always happy to do that kind of thing. Please don't hesitate to ask. Either come find me in my little hole in Lutzy office once we're able to return to normal, or email me, and we'll set up a place to meet, and hopefully I can be of help to you. I've really enjoyed our semester, as weird as it's been. At least we get to do this. Very few people are as fortunate, and as weird and as trying as it's been, got to gauge what we consider to be our problems. We have our health. So I think I'll leave you with just one final piece of advice. Don't really trust stairs. They're a fickle friend. They could be down to get you there, but they're always up to something. No, I can't leave on that one. That one's not, And I'll go with a writing joke. What do you get when you cross a joke with a rhetorical question? That's it. Stay out of trouble and don't get caught. Good luck to you guys.